Hello, today we're going to talk about AI Reset and how EON helps to transform knowledge transfer. We do that with our product platform. Uh, that is a family consisting of two. One is the EON XR product family, and the other one is the EON Artificial Intelligence product family. The XR family contains the ability to do code-free XR, mixing virtual with real, teleporting people for spatial meetings, generating metaverse environments on the fly, and interact between walking, touching, and creating very complex scenarios. The AI family has an AI assistant that generates things on the fly for you in front of your eyes, but also have the ability to convert existing textbooks. And we got actually demo this one today. AI Ready building new courses, spatial IQ understanding and seeing the reality, and soft skills doing role play. With that comes a whole range of features that we're going to look at today briefly. Okay, so let's start with AI Ready, building new courses. So here what we're going to see is, let's say we want to do a course in civil engineering. We're going to look how the Eiffel Tower is built. We don't want to talk with it. We just want to show an image and say build an extended reality experience based on that image. And do it first in French, Progrès de la construction de Tour Eiffel, or in German, Fortschrittsbau des Eiffelturms, or why not Spanish? Let's stick to Spanish. So then we click one single button, it's getting in progress, and then voila, the experience is there. So here we are.
La construcción de la Torre Eiffel. Comenzó con el diseño inicial.
So what you see here is that the 360 environment was built, the 3D environment is built, the knowledge port is built, the avatar shows you, tells you, guides you, and assists you. Now let's say we want to go from one single lesson to multiple lessons. So, and let's say we need some help. So what we do is we go to AI Assistant. We click on what exactly type of lesson we want. Let's say we want something with chemical engineering, and we want multiple courses perhaps. We want to do it for an audience in the United States. I'm interested in chemical reactor design. So I ask it to do a number of courses around that. I select it. So you can see here that generated a number of courses, and then I select the one that I'm mostly interested in, which is chemical reactor design, advanced materials. It goes in process just within a minute. I have my courses. I'll open one up. This was the chemical part, reactor design. You can see there's a reactor here. There's a 3D environment. There's an avatar, and it goes through a number of steps. Okay. Now let's say I created my lesson, but before I publish it, I also want to get some review of it. I don't want to just publish it. I want maybe to edit. So it's very simple. I just point to the object I want to maybe edit. There's a pen. I can click on the pen. I have this option where more than 36 million assets are popping up. Out of those 36 million assets, I select the one I want, and you notice instantly change it, and now I have a very rich experience. Okay, so what's happening in AI Ready is that we have multiple agents that go to work. And this is things that we partner with the best solutions in the world. So we have an agent that does the 360 environment and generates that on the fly. We have actually more than 33 different parallel agents doing things. And this environment can be high quality. You can have 6K resolution, and it's very immersive. We have another agent that generates the collision detection and Newtonian physics. So if I can ask the avatar to come to me, you notice that it avoided all the obstacles. If I ask it, it can also walk over things. So the metaverse experience that I do is fairly realistic, or very realistic, I should say. Now, so far so good. We did new courses. What about if I want to create existing courses? That's actually the majority of the users today, 90 plus, wants to do. So here we go. Typically Typically what you have a PDF of the course. Let's say it's 450 pages. And let's say this has to do with elevator machinery. It's a manual on that. I just upload the file. It identifies, cherry picks the top, let's say 10 courses where 3D extended reality provides a lot of value, generates those courses, and I can click continue, and automatically the courses are generated. I selected one of them about force ventilation. We go inside. You can see the training document that was utilized, the AI report that you have there. And now when I click on start experience, on the left side you see what was the input, which was simply text and images. On the right side you see the output. So let's say which is immersive extended reality experience. So if I ask a question, how do I change forced ventilation, and click submit.
To change the forced ventilation, follow these detailed steps. Mechanical installation.
So what happens here is the avatar guides
mounting
me
of the forced
and
ventilation.
assists me, shows me, and
Screw
tells
the
me,
2 elbows
and follows.
onto the housing of the
It
drive.
doesn't hallucinate. It follows
using
the
a hexagon head screw
exact
for each.
instruction that are provided by the input, in this case the manual that was inserted. And this obviously, now I can learn how to release
1.
monitoring.
Preparation. Ensure that the
Adjust the
friction
release
lining
monitoring
the
with
brake
micro switch
the
for
braking
Rob
surface on
twin
the flanged
stop
bearing
brake.
plate and the toothed hub on the motor shaft are free of dirt.
So obviously you learn much better when you have this type of immersive experience. Now another problem you have is that even if you learn about this, you may want to ask questions that were not covered by the lessons. So explain how to do a chemical volcano. That was not covered by the extended reality lesson, but was covered in the book. So then it will know and respond.
1. Baking soda.
So now first it gives me the
Sodium
components,
bicarbonate. 2.
baking soda,
Vinegar.
etc. Then it shows me how
and
to do
food
it.
coloring. To the hydrogen peroxide and potassium
So
iodide.
basically I can do things outside what was created. I can tap in the entire book. I can also generate sound effects on the fly. This is very important for immersion.
As the battle raged on, the relentless cannon fire filled the air.
So every sound you hear is generated on the fly. It's not pre-existing.
For example, your lungs take in oxygen.
These tasks prevent wear and tear, ensuring the car runs smoothly.
Some say they used sledges and rolled the stones over logs.
In the reactor, uranium
And
or
what you see
plutonium
here
atoms
is
are
that
split, releasing a significant
you
amount
can
of energy.
identify the sound also by
This energy
clicking on
is used
various
to heat water,
components. It's not
producing
limited
steam.
to the speech.
The steam drives turbines connected to generators, converting thermal energy into electrical energy.
Think of your heart pumping blood. Together, they help us understand how our bodies are built and how they function.
The vibrant green foliage surrounds you. The ground beneath your feet is soft and slightly damp. Occasionally, you hear the distant call of a howler monkey.
Quite impressive. Now, we all know that when you are in a classroom, sometimes students are very excel and some need more help. So for that, we come up with Learning Path, which is a personalized XR learning that creates one single course in 5 different complexity levels, from basic to expert level. So let's say we want to create a course like that. We go to course catalog. We create an expert creation. We say, let's say the course has to do with vehicle engine maintenance. We can select how to detect or hard skills, soft skills. We can select which language we're interested in. We have about 80 plus languages and growing almost every month. And then on the right side, you see advanced creation, which is create 5 experience. In this case, I selected Spanish. And you'll see when you click on this, we'll generate the same theme, 5 levels. And I don't speak Spanish, but I can see an introduction. I can see here advanced, so it goes from introduction to advanced. And here we go. We see the same course. We can select those 5 courses and we can add them to a playlist. Once we have them in a playlist, we can send this to our 5,000 students, and then we can see how well they do. And of course, the ones that only maybe were able to do 2 levels need some help from me. And the ones that did 5 levels and did excellent maybe were not challenging enough, so we'll provide them level 6. So that's how this is done. Okay, so now you may need at this point, how do I remember all that? And the short answer is that you don't. We have a EON virtual support agent that can instantly and in multiple language guide you. So let's see. I'm your user agent. You can ask me anything. How do I create courses? What does the login page look like? So you can also show me images, videos, text. I can even talk with it. So for example here,
¿Cuál es la característica más impresionante de EON XR?
if I ask in Spanish, it answers in Spanish. If I ask in Swedish,
mest imponerande funktionen
it answers in Swedish.
EON XR
If I ask in Chinese, it answers in Chinese.
Quelle est la fonctionnalité la plus impressionnante de EON XR?
So that's very much possible. Now, another thing that it does is that it automatically generates 3D models. So that was difficult to do before because we need to cover. So let's say I want to do a modern hospital with surgical instruments, precision objects, and I give you that instruction. I click create, and look, automatically it generates something to do with this lesson, with the MRI device, etc. Let's say if I ask a question about high-tech workshop with gears, mesh and transmission systems and pistons, let's have a look. You can see here it generated 3 different courses, and you can see even moving parts, etc. If I ask the question about a truck, in this case it's let's say the ability to have a type of machinery in a warehouse with a forklift, what have you. Next thing here is to let the AI see and understand what's an environment. So in this case I say, just a second. Yeah, so let's listen in for a second.
Includes 1. Surgeon. Leads the surgical procedure, making incisions, and performing the surgery. 2. Nurse. Assists the surgeon. Bypassing instruments, maintaining the sterile field, and monitoring the patient.
So there seems to be a fire. What should we do?
1. Activate the fire alarm. Alert everyone in the vicinity by activating.
So what we see here is that it recognizes your question and generates instructions because it sees, although it doesn't have any annotation for those specific topics, it has generated those on the fly. So that, in essence, AI sees, identifies, understands, and can give you guidance and assistance. So now, from there, the next level is what we refer to as simulators. So in this case, AI shows you how to do things, then you get to try it yourself, and then you get personalized assessment. Let's have a look. So now, first of all, we have a skill simulator. Explain how to do elephant toothpaste.
Creating elephant toothpaste is a fascinating experiment that requires careful attention to safety. Begin by putting on safety goggles to protect your eyes from potential...
So in essential, it gives me the instructions what to do, step 1, step 2, step 3, and it guides me through that. And then after that, I have to do it myself. So I'm assessed. I have to move around in the environment. I have to pick the right components using this. I do with a mobile phone, and I need to do it in the right chronology. And once I've done everything, I will get a result because it saw me. And look here, it gave me 69 points of 100. I had an excellent time, but I did quite a lot of incorrect steps, right? Let's look to the left what I did that was not correct. I forgot to put on safety glasses. You see my cross there? I forgot to add a dish soap, so that's why I missed a lot here. So I get a very complex, let's say, score with all the assessment in a clear way. Okay, so it's time to do something ourselves. So we're going to convert a textbook using Train AI. So are you ready? On the left-hand side, you see that I have a lot of textbooks here. I'm interested in mechanical engineering, so I click on Train AI. And this is live. I click on Create. I click on Course Catalog. I click on, Train AI. I click on this. I pick mechanical engineering. So now what's happening here in the background is selecting mechanical engineering. And what I want to do is just to understand, because this may look like magic, and it is actually magical in one way, but what's happening in the background. And I want to share that with you by showing you this image. So EON has the capability to convert, thanks to our technology and many patents, this from 2D to 3D, but we also partner with the best solutions in the world. Our theory is if you can buy it, don't build it. By the way, meanwhile, you can see on the left-hand side here that it has already dissected the whole manual, and the manual, for your information, is quite big. The one we picked up was mechanical engineering. So if you click on this, you can see that it's a department of mechanical engineering at USC. And you can see here is 100 plus pages with lots of details. So out of that, he digested this information, and here it picked different topics. Let's pick one. Maybe, let's see here. Let's pick fluid stresses. Okay, so we picked something with stress, strains, and materials. So we'll go for that. And to give you a little bit more detail while that progresses, I would like to share what we're doing. It's already done that, so I'll click a 3 here to proceed. So it's super fast on the creation side. So we are using OpenAI for language model. We also are not limited to that. We're also looking at and working with Anthropic, Gemini, Llama, which is an open model. And by the way, now the process is ongoing. We are using Udio and 11 Labs for sound and text-to-speech, Ready Player Me for the avatar, Blockade Labs. We are using them for, let me just, so you can see better, for the 3D and 360 environments, Unity 3D for the underlying game engine, Sketchfab, together with CG Trader TurboSquid to have this huge database of 3D models. Agora Multi-User is used for real-time engagement solution in metaverse application. Google for scraping. We're also using Google for geo-positioning. So AI experience our position in the physical space. Microsoft text-to-speech. Apple AR-Kit for the augmented reality development. Amazon Poly that offers text-to-speech. AWS for hosting and storage. Mixamo is offered for 3D animations, etc., etc. So when you buy EON, you actually buy many different technologies that are currently embedded, and we are monitoring this on basically a weekly basis and always make sure that we have the best technology possible. And now it's all done. We can go to the experience. We can click on experience and see what has been developed. And we had something regarding stress. And you can see here that if I go to overview, I have the training document. I also have a report that describes stresses and generated something called plasticity. I remember this in school. You have a linear phase, and then you have the plastic level, and then you have a increase, and then you have breaking point with fractions. So that's what we have. Now, rather than, we can obviously play the whole lesson if we want by clicking play or edit. on that device, but I was thinking we should do something different. We will connect a new device, which is my phone, and you will see that momentarily. I'm sharing my screen. What I have is an iPhone, and let's go to EON. Okay, and we go to my workspace, and you can see a minute ago we created stresses, materials, etc. And we're gonna go. We can do 4 things. One, we could start a meeting to invite other people. We can go start experience, or we can click on the pen. The pen allows us to verify the lessons, which I highly recommend to do before you actually publish this, to make sure that everything is correct. And or maybe normally everything is correct because we use the book material, but just in case, to make sure that you like the 3D models generated, if you want to change or edit something, it's very easy to do. And after we do the edit mode, then we can go to play the experience. And during the experience, we can do 4 things. One, we will experience a lecture. Then we will be able to engage and ask questions. Then we'll be able to be assessed, and assessment goes in various levels. One level has to do with what we call thought-provoking questions, or Socrates dialogue. One has to do with annotations, quizzes, and Jeopardy. One has to do with things related to skill simulators, for example, the thing that I showed in the video. And after that, after we completed all those, we go to end results, and we're going to get presented how well we did actually in this session. So let's click on tab experience. So you can see here that this is related to stress.
Hi, you're in edit mode for stresses, strains, and material properties.
So this is if we use things for
I'm your AI
different
guide.
materials.
You can ask me anything.
And notice that we have also a relevant 3D environment that was built with even cracks for these stresses that occur in this environment. And I also have here a bridge. It looks like a bridge, a structure in a 3D environment during construction. This looks pretty good to me. So I will close that. And now we are ready to go to the actual lesson. So I didn't do any changes. I'm going to use what exists by starting at the button. What is difficult to do, and historically we've struggled, and it's solved in this version, is that how do you, on one side, create lessons very quickly with the speed of light, in seconds essentially, on one side, but the other side with depth and quality, where you generate like you saw there, 3D models, 3D assessment, and everything. And that's what EON has been able to do. So now we're going to go to this. We're going to click on play, start experience. So now we are going to the experience. And this is actually a pretty complex process. It will take us to lecture that will take maybe 20 minutes if I want to go to the whole experience. Obviously, we don't have time for that. So today we're going to just jump, observe a little bit the lecture, and then also assess your skills, because see how well you do on the various topics. I think right now I'm in a hotel in Vietnam, and one thing I discovered here in Vietnam is that they really work non-stop, and the internet is quite slow, and it's used by a lot of people. It's a Sunday, so I don't know if they watch movies or what's going on. But in a second, we'll see the experience. Oh, by the way, so the avatar right now I'm working with is English, but I can quickly switch. So if I want to speak Swedish, it's possible. If I want to change the avatar look and feel, different voice, different looks, different clothing, it's super simple to customize my avatars based on context also. Okay, So we are almost there. The model that's generated typically will contain up to 27 different videos, at least 20 plus images, 2 3D environments, multiple 3D models, etc.
Hello. This is an experience about stresses, strains, and material properties.
So I'm walking here.
Next, I will explain to you about plastic deformation.
Floor. But now suddenly I'm not on the 63rd floor, I'm in this stress environment with...
The procedure for analyzing stresses, strains, and material properties.
And she's going to continue. I can also switch the environment to this structure. I can also end the instruction and go to...
Do you have any questions about stresses, strains, and material properties?
Yeah, I can
or
ask
would you like to go...
but instead I go
Start quiz challenge? What is the measure of the force applied to a material per unit area?
It's stress. I should have known that. Any case, so you can see here, let's see if I get another chance.
Start quiz challenge. What is the formula for von Mises stress?
I knew that one. And so very quickly I was able to conduct this course, and the teacher on the other side is able to review and see how well, look at the statistic and see how well the student performed. You can see that the student was there in 1 minute, what the student said right, what they said wrong, and how well the overall performance was. So that's something that we can do. Okay, let me just see if I can get back my mouse. That's a little issue we have. Okay, there you go. Okay, so maybe that to get a little better picture of this, what's happening, what exactly are we experiencing during this process? And I was mentioning that the level of engagement is quite high. So first we do a lecture, then we do engagement, then we do assessment, then we do skill simulator, then we do feedback. Now let's dissect that a little further. So during the lecture, you do show and tell. So the Hero 3D asset is connected with Knowledge Portal, connected with images, with 360, with models, with floating annotations. And each of these annotations contain text, pictures, video, sound. On engagement, you can ask questions. Those can be predefined questions or free questions. This can be related to pre-existing annotations or annotations that it generates on the fly based on your questions. With regards to assessment, we did try the quiz, but we didn't try the Jeopardy. We didn't try and identify either. There's also something called AI-guided questions. Now the avatar is asking you questions. One of those is Socratic dialogue or thought-provoking questions. Now, what's Socratic dialogue? It's a method to ask and answer questions to stimulate critical thinking. So, for example, the avatar is asking you, what do you notice about the structure of this module or molecule? And then you will have to answer. Based on your answer, it will ask you follow-up questions, what you said right, what you said wrong. So there's a number of things you can do in this manner. Now, what's exciting about this is that it's adaptive. So it adjusts its language and complexity based on the question asked. It also, if you struggle with technical terms, it will simplify the language. If you demonstrate mastery, it will increase its sophistication. It also adjusts the speed and frequency of question based on how quickly you process. So this is a full immersive and adaptive experience. Now, what's the value with this? Rather than me talking about, let's listen to PwC.
We have conducted a study on virtual reality learning. We found learners in VR required less time to learn. They had higher emotional connection to the content, higher confidence, and were less distracted during the training.
Okay, so if you want to learn more about this, there's a bunch of testimonials that you can hear directly from users across the world, from everywhere from Romania, Ethiopia, Canada, United States, Chile, where you can listen to vice chancellors and teachers and leaders how well this technology has worked for them. And some example, Los Angeles Community College, that have seen 79% of faculty members said that this really improved their learning outcomes. Context, for example, Malaysia, where employability rates after completing TVET education using our technology was 97%. Similar, we've seen very good responses, for example, in enterprise with Changi Airport or the medical arena. So customers are in the academic arena, in the industry arena, also many governments, and yeah, global usage across the world. For emerging economies, we also have, you may qualify for a grant, and the grant will cover up to 95% of the cost. So if you traditionally buy our product, it's $36 per user a month for students, but with a grant you pay less, around $2. So in conclusion, we believe knowledge is a human right, and we want to make knowledge available, accessible, and affordable for everybody on the planet. And thank you for me. If you want to try this yourself, why don't you reach out to us? You have my email there, and you can bring your textbook in a PDF, and we can generate 10 courses for you as a trial for free. Let's do it. Thank you so much. Until next time.